Genesis 13 verse 1, it says, "And Abram went out of Egypt, he and his wife, and all that he had, and Lot with him, into the south." Egypt. And the Bible said that Abram was in Egypt. This is before he was changed. He was in Egypt and he went into the south. So this map is showing the south of Egypt. So if he went as far down as Sudan, as Congo, as Uganda, as Burundi, as Zambia, as Zimbabwe, as Botswana, or as far down as the south in South Africa. This is an interesting situation. This 13 verse 1 in the ESV version and in other versions says, "So Abram went up from Egypt, he and his wife and all that he had, and Lot with him, into the Negeb." So the Negeb is an area that is specifically mentioned. So what's going on here is that one version has us looking up, the other one has us looking down. And the different versions create a sort of confusion that we have to really wrap our minds around. So in order to understand what this actually means, we're going to have to delve into the word Negeb. The word Negeb also has an origin in Negev. We're going to dive deeper into the iceberg of this particular word, but we're going to start with the surface meaning on Wikipedia. So it says the origin of the word Negev is from the Hebrew word meaning dry. In the Hebrew Bible, the word Negev is also used for the direction south. Some English language translation use the word Negeb. The word south, it's important to also realize it is also used for the Queen of Sheba, who Jesus called the Queen of the South. Moving on, the Negev mentioned in the Bible consists only of the northernmost part of the modern Israel Negev, with semi-arid Arab Sheba Valley as defined as Eastern Biblical Negev. So this is according to this source, right? So this is from Wikipedia, all right? So the fact of the matter is most people have no idea that the state of Israel as we know it was founded in 1948. And this is after World War II. It has something to do with Hitler and everything that was going on at the time that we will talk to in a video dedicated to that subject. Before that, the word Israel meant something different. But before that even, the word Egypt is always been in the Bible. So we can use Egypt as the anchoring point to decide where the settlements of Abraham was. And this is going to be interesting because it will touch into the story of the southern parts of Africa, and it will also touch in the stories of the southern parts of Arabia. So what is interesting about it is the fact that the Queen of the South, which is the Queen of Sheba, was known to be the Queen of the South because she was in that area of Arabia and in the area of Africa. And the kingdom of Aksum, which is Eritrea and Ethiopia, they were kingdoms that had places on either side of the seas. So this is an interesting dichotomy. And this is the South. This is the South. So it does include both aspects. And I'm going to show you a verse that shows or illustrates this phenomenon of why there are two sides of the Bible. That's why there's so many versions. There's an Old and the New Testament, but everything in the Bible has two sides. So a lot of people don't realize that there are actually two Jesuses in the Bible. There's a video that I explained that. There are also two Judases, right? There's also two Josephs. There are two Canaans. There are two Noahs. There are two Canaans, right? So all of this is going to be explained but I'll do this first in this video, which I will show how the land of Israel is actually the land of Abraham. If you're feeling the vibes, don't forget to get the Lost Bantu book of the Black Jews of Africa. This particular book is free. You can get it in the link below. It explains more of the information in this video in greater detail. So you could also look into this book for more information if you want to know more about this subject. All right, so here we are. This is Genesis chapter 10. I'm going to start at verse 6. So let's make it in green. So here are the sons of Ham: Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. So generally we understand that the sons of Ham are the children of Africa, right? But what it actually means is that it's a whole other meaning that is explained and expressed in the Bible that you will understand, but I'm going to just tell you the core of it. And it is to say that the children of Ham are the same as the children of Shem, because the children of Ethiopia or the children of Africa are the Hebrews. All right. So it starts here, and this is where everything starts. Here in purple over here, you can get the, I just made it blue. You can get the information about the Gentiles, where they start. But we're not talking about the Gentiles. Here we're in green. So we're talking about the Hebrews. So their history and stories are very interesting and complicated. But here I'm going to try my best to tell you and to show you so that you can read it on your own, and then you will understand the mystery and how it's revealed in the Bible. All right, so we'll go step by step, and it's a very simple revelation, but it's actually very significant. All right, and the sons of Ham: Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. And the sons of Cush: Seba. So Seba, this is also where we get the word for Sheba. And Sheba, as you can see, it's in Arabia, and it's also in Africa. And then this is through Cush, and Cush is black. Cush is Ethiopia. He ended up being in that area of Ethiopia, but Ethiopia is his ancestor. He is the son of Ethiopia in the genealogies of the Bible. All right, so we'll talk about Ethiopia in a separate instance, but for the purposes of the new beginning, Cush becomes Ethiopia, because these are the children of Noah in the new beginning, but before Ethiopia was already in existence. So Sheba, Havilah, Sabta, Rama, Sabteka, and the sons of Rama: Sheba again, Dedan. And Cush begat Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord. All right. So everyone knows about Nimrod. All right. So we'll put him in purple over there. So Nimrod, as the Bible illustrates, is a child of the black king of Cush. The black king called Cush. He was luxurious. His brother was Luxor in Egypt, Mizraim. He was luxury. Cush was cushion, right? And then their child was Nimrod. So he grew up with a very high mind of himself. All right. Now, here is the important part, and I'm going to make it yellow. All right. In the beginning of his kingdom. Now we're talking about the child of Cush. The beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Erech. Erech is Iraq, and Akkad, and Calneh, and the land of Shinar. Shinar, shiny land, new land, prosperous land. But this is Babel, all right? So now I'm going to show you where the black king had his first kingdom. So here we are looking at this map, and it's showing us Neo-Babylonian Empire. And this is an idea of where Babylon is, which is in Arabia. Although Kush is from all the way here in Egypt. All right, let's look at some more maps. So this is the influence that when we look at it, we should see it in a sense like this. Babylon is all the way over here, right? But then the whole influence of this place was all the way unto Egypt. So Babylon and Iraq and Shinar and all of the other kingdoms that came from Babylon and came from the understanding of Babylon came from this person, from Nimrod and his understanding. So the word Negeb has changed from a B to a V, right? So this word has also changed, and this actually comes from nega, which is nega, which is negative, right? Negative in the sense of under, subtract, sub. So this is why it's always in the south, sub-Sahara. It's always under. So this is the word neg. And this was used a lot, and this was recorded as the place. So Abraham went into the Negeb, and this is the story and how it's illustrated. He went into the south. So this word is also the word that has changed in different ways. And I'll show you one other place where it has changed, and at the same time it reveals the actual geographic location of where the Negeb is and how it's structured. This is Acts chapter 13, verse 1. Now, they were in the church that was at Antioch, certain prophets and teachers as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Neger. This is the other place where we find the word Negeb in its altered form. So this is a map from 1736, and it's showing a map of a place, an old place that's called Negroland. So let me just zoom into this area. So this is the actual place of the Negeb. All right. So this is the Negroland, Ebroland, Hebrewland, Ebroland, Eboland. This is the place where it is. So it's like Northwest Africa. This is Guinea, Gold Coast, and all of these places. So the Negeb is also called the neglected. And this is from this word from Negeb. So I just showed different parts of a really big and overarching story. What I was showing was the whole situation that is in the Bible as in reference to Nimrod, Cush, and Babylon, and how they ended up going into the area where Israel is, modern day Israel, that's established in 1948 is. But then in that whole situation, they're mixing with the people of Shem, they're mixing with the people of Ham, but the people of Japheth, they are different. And I'm going to explain why they're different. But one reason is because they were called the Isles of the Gentiles. The Isles. All right. So the Isles of the Gentiles is a whole other story that we will have to discuss in order to get the whole picture. But then when we're talking about the Hebrews, we're now talking about Nimrod and Babylonians. They're all Hebrews. So this is what is actually in the story, but only are they not only are they Hebrews, but they were also Negroes. They were also from the Negeb. And the Negeb is a word that I have just been trying to like illustrate in different ways, because the word actually means to neglect. It's easy to neglect because it means negative. And then in the south, this is where so much was put. But then in all of that, because of its blessing, it got a curse, and because of its curse, it got a blessing. And this negligence was also the hidden wisdom of this place. So some of the hidden secrets of the Negeb are so neglected that they're so abundant. So this is why we have to talk about this place, because it is actually the land that's given to Abraham. So it's also like in a sense, so that the diligent will actually seek out what God actually put out there. Because when Abraham was given everything, he was also given like the keys to all the earth, right? So he was also given the keys to all the riches of Africa, which Africa still has until this day. And the children of Abraham will inherit that, because this is what is given unto them. And this is the understanding that I'm sharing through this video, so that we can all grow and learn in more understanding of what the truth is, because the truth is what sets us free. And not just the truth in order for a certain people to feel good, because the Bible says that it's not because anyone is righteous, it's not because anyone is good, but so that we can understand the mind of God. And we cannot get to that point unless we have complete humility to understand that the Gentiles are also brothers of the Hebrews, although they were different in the land that they were given after the flood. And this is where this whole understanding all starts to map out. But the beginning of Babylon was the black person. And even before that, in the beginning, this place was called Assyria. The beginning of Assyria was also with a black person. And this is the understanding that we get through reading the Bible. And through understanding this, we'll also get to know some of the reasons why things were confused, like why people have it all twisted. But then I illustrated that in the sense that one version in Babylon has you looking up, the other one has you looking down. But it's also because there's also always a duality. So there's also always a battle of good, evil, God, devil, there's always a battle, but the truth always prevails, and we are more than conquerors. So we have to be conquering, and we also have to be cognizant of the land that was supposed to be conquering, right? So we have to understand that the south of Egypt stretches all the way into the Middle East. The south of Egypt stretches all the way to Cape Town. So in the next couple of videos, we're going to be talking about all of that and how we can just see the whole landscape for what it is, not for what we think it is, but for what it really is.